Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Show on Africa Independent Television, AIT. My name is Zobia Joro. Last week on the show, we took you on a journey through entertainment industry in Nigeria, highlighting how it grew with it today. We didn't forget major incidences of the week ahead of the show, especially the tanker fire incident in Niger State. Unfortunately, in less than a week, same type of incident befell the people of Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. Those incidences claimed several lives and left many injured. Our thoughts and prayers are still with those affected. Back to today's show. We are privileged to see some surviving members of the first set of the Nigerian Air Force officers. The sight of those men ignited our curiosity, but before we let you know what we did, permit me to welcome my associate anchor, Marquin Joseph. Happy Sunday. Good morning.
Happy Sunday to you.
How was your week?
Well, it went good. We appreciate God for everything.
Okay, so you're welcome.
All right. Good morning. Indeed, our nation, Nigeria, has been in the news this past few weeks, perhaps mostly for the wrong reasons. The tanker fire incidents, the extradition of a Nigerian whose alleged cyber-related activities led to the death of a young United States citizen. And how about the news of the separation of Nigeria's musical icon, Two-Face Idibia and wife? Well, the list goes on. The truth is that things will keep happening as long as we keep engaging ourselves and interacting with each other in the course of our daily activities. But our heart desires is for us to have good things, talking about the right things, dominate the news. Maybe just as we have it this morning.
Yeah, certainly. It is really a good news. Imagine being a part of the first set of the Nigerian Air Force cadets who we learned were 300 of them when they were enrolled 62 years ago. Yet, being alive to meet some of your contemporaries again, the feeling was glorious as 20 of them met recently in Abuja. It was put together by the former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, who incidentally is part of the 1963 Nigerian Air Force. From the arrival of the men to the celebration of their achievements, the Sunday Show crew witnessed every bit of it. Before we let you into that, though, let us serve you some of those items that made the news in the week.
Welcome back. It's still the Sunday Show on Africa Independent Television. It was tagged the reunion of pioneer officers of the Nigerian Air Force. special recognition for some of the officers privileged to have attained the pinnacle of their career. A display of walking sticks, calculated footsteps, clearly indicates that Nigeria's first set of Air Force officers have come of age. The Sunday show crew engaged some of the men who would rather want to be referred to as cadets, and they reflected on their modes of operation.
We should not be forgotten and be consigned to the dustbin, as that may be. So in my recognitions, I will only call your number, dated number. You will please stand up and call your name, not by rank, but your name, so that His Excellencies will know you. And I may add that there is none of us surviving that is less than 81 years old. We are octogenarians.
I wish, on behalf of all these cadets who are gathered here today, to give you a very warm welcome for accepting our invitation and coming to join us. Some of you may not recall that the coming into being of the Air Force was not only initiated by that Act of Parliament, which was on the 18th of April 1964, but before then, events in Africa have actually hastened the whole process, and so our leaders at that time were quick to seize the opportunity. By this, I'm referring to the crisis in the Congo at that time, in 1960. The problems of getting all the soldiers from Nigeria to go to the United Nations, and the costs involved actually signaled, or in fact initiated the start of getting our own Air Force in order to lift our soldiers wherever they have to go. So that was the beginning. And so in 1962, from mid-1962 to mid-1963, this number of cadets, numbering about 300 of them altogether, were sent to various countries, namely Ethiopia, Germany, India, Canada, and of course, some home training started also in the country here. At the recruitment stage, there were this number of cadets, but most of them, as has already been stated, were in their 20s. Now, we are all in our 80s, going into our 90s. So far, I think there are just about 20 survivors today in our midst. Well, let us give thanks to the Creator, Almighty God, for His mercies. I want to thank the government for always being there to solve some of the problems that all these retirees have come across. Many of them, as you can see, seated here, have got one problem or the other, that of age, and so many other things as well. But we thank the government for always being there to help out in solving these problems. However, as always the case, there are still a number of things that need to be ironed out. And we believe that with time, this will be sorted out. We have collectively asked our star cadet to consider taking these issues that are still of a problem to the retirees, and he has graciously accepted to help go into this and solve them with the relevant government agencies. I would like to keep my comments short so that actors and the survivors whose effort and vision took the nerve to the greatest length it has reached today may be able to give us some views. In this regard, we have in our midst our Brigadier General E.E. Ukwe, who was our first indigenous Chief of Staff, and we also have Air Vice Marshal Abdul Bello. Also, we have here the Chief of Defense Staff, who may also wish to say something either to us or to his colleagues in helping to maintain our Air Force. Well, like I said, there is so much to say, but because we are running late, I would rather leave it at this so that we will have time. Our esteemed guests here, each one will have the opportunity to say something if he has something to I thank you very much at this stage. Thank you.
We have an opportunity to see our old friends who we've not seen for a long time. As you heard, we are a whole lot of us, only 20 are remaining now alive. So it's a lot of reunion, and it's something that we are very happy to have people to, because we never know when we'll see ourselves again.
Just thank God for the colleagues that have gone. We sympathize, but nothing we can do about that. We just thank God that some of us are still alive. During that time, we were friends. I call him Oha or Adomere. And he calls me Nda. No? We were friends. We were very close. Nobody could say you were from Niger or from this or this. We were friends. That's the major thing.
That's major difference.
Yes. From what we are seeing now, there is too much of individualism. Everybody is on his own.
By 1963, as my colleague told you, we came together and worked effectively, trained effectively, without knowing where each of us came from. We loved ourselves, played together, worked together arduously. We never had any division. We had no political thinking at that time. That's why I'm bitter with politicians of these days. They are divisive. They brought about the situation in which we are suffering now. I wish our situation had been like it was then. Perhaps it wouldn't have been like this in Nigeria today. Where insecurity has grown to an almost unmanageable situation now. But we have to have a rethink. Politicians engineered the whole thing. It's security. They are the people who tell the little man below, this man did this, this man did do this and take the money. By 1963, we were not thinking of the money. Only few, perhaps, we were thinking like people who who weren't looking forward would think of money. But I tell you, majority never was thinking of the money or what you get from wherever you are. You think of Nigeria first at that time before thinking of the money, wealth you may generate. Everybody can be a politician. Everybody can be a doctor. Everybody can be a head of state. At any one time, whatever you come, you see, you take. And then have sense of contentment. Look, I'm contented with what, even though I am at the low level I will now, but I'm happy. It is God that allowed it to be like that. So why should I take it? I thank God for it. Yes, that's why he's my colleague. He's an AVM, but I'm a crew captain. I was on the other side during the war. So it's not his own making, it's not my own making. I have to respect him and his rank. I'm happy with whatever I have now. That is one of the things killing Nigeria, lack of contentment. They want to have everything in the world. God didn't create the world like that, that everybody should have. Otherwise, we will take his post from him.
Reunion, that's the essence. Coming around from a different zone,
yes,
we are now reunited and seeing ourselves, we shower love. These 2 days reunion will prolong our lives for so many years. I'm telling you this for sure, because when you don't see your brother for ages and you now see him, you are excited. I have been asking Adama, how say, how's it going? Why have you turned grey? Why are you using stick? This. The love is just natural.
Any words for those who organized this?
We want a repetition of it as often as possible. Let's meet, if not for anything, every 2 years. Let's meet, because we had a conference this morning, and we were able to pour out our mind on what the government is yet to do to improve the lot of the veterans, to improve the lot of the serving and retired soldiers. We are not talking for the officers alone. We are talking for the officers and men. How their welfare could be improved. That's the essence of us being here. You see, in the military is nothing but love. You see, then, 1963, as young cadets, we are our brother keepers. Now, everybody is to himself, God for us all. You will ask, why that? 1963, you are your brother's keeper. Today, everybody is to himself, but God for us all. It's greed that is the cause. Then, admitted, the country was not too rich, but the country was thriving on love. Love. There was no discrimination. My brothers from the east, from the west, from the north, we don't even see ourselves as individuals. We saw ourselves then as one. We saw ourselves as Nigerians. You are a Nigerian first and foremost. But when this politician came up, they divided everything for their own interests. Let's revert to Nigeria. Not that 37 states, 58 states that we are working upon. If you are a Nigerian, if you see yourself as a Nigerian, you will work and die for this country. But nowadays, people only work for themselves. They work for their villages. They work for their states. Let's be a Nigerian. Central government. One government, one people, one love.
So we must thank God. The journey was, started we were about 200 on the whole, different batches. And right now we're about 21. So must thank God. That's it.
For me, it's interesting because the former president, General Abubakar, was one of my students. I was military attaché in Germany in 1965, and he was one of the students there.
The journey of Nigeria's nationhood began with them. It is no surprise that their gathering attracted top government functionaries, especially in the military sphere. The Vice President Kashim Shettima was one of those represented, the Minister of Defense, Chief of Defense Staff, and many more were present and acknowledged the roles played by these pioneer cadets and in shaping Nigeria Air Force.
Fantastic. I am so excited. 1963, I wasn't even born then. So for me to be privileged to be here today is something we're grateful for. We thank God Almighty for making it possible. You can imagine they put in 63 years. None of them, I think, is below 80 years here. And look at them looking healthy and strong. It's our prayer that we too should get to this, to this level. They've done so much. When they started from the scratch, without any experience and everything, and with the civil war coming in and so many challenges, and yet they were able to stay strong. We commend them for all the effort they put in. We're happy. We are building from what they have put in place, and that's very critical for us. And it has continued. The Nigerian Air Force has continued to do extremely very well, and we're very proud of them, what they have done. We're working together. All the various courses at the Nigerian Defense Academy are still together. We've continued from what they have built, what they have started. I think it's even a lot better now. And we'll continue to make sure that we improve. The Armed Forces has been doing extremely very well. We're very dedicated individuals that want the best for our country, so that has united us together. We joined the Armed Forces not because we were looking for employment or because we wanted to make money. No, we joined because we wanted to really sacrifice our lives for our country, and we're glad to have the opportunity to do that.
Also making the case for the Nigerian government is the former head of state, referred to as the Star Cadet, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, retired, who had relieved their past through music rendition.
I want to thank all the guests who have accepted our invitation and have joined us this evening. You can see the Honorable Minister of Defense was here then on time, and we had to wait for other dignitaries to come. Note that he has been indoctrinated into the military affairs, and he keeps the time. Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Also, the Vice President of the Representative was here much earlier. Well, let me thank all the pioneer cadets for their contribution to the welfare of our departed friends. Your Excellency, whenever anyone passes away, the coordinator, now being Air Vice Marshal Aboy Shekari, rallies around all of us, and we contribute our widow's mite to be sent to the wife of the duties officer. I want to thank all the pioneer cadets for your contribution for the welfare of those widows. I wanted to say a big thank you to somebody whose action changed our lives. the sense that he took a stand and we were in service up to the ranks we have achieved. I will tell the story. Brigadier Ikwe was then our defense attaché in Germany. And we felt the German cadets were overdoing and stepping their bounds. So on a weekend, we organized a rescue mission. And what did we do? We wrote operational orders and tasked each cadet of what to do. I remember very well Ibrahim, I can't remember his second name, may he rest in peace. He was assigned to go and lock the duty officer in his office, which he did. Then we invaded the German cadet quarters, and it was winter. So we opened the water hose, the fire hose, and drenched them. And of course, the German authorities did not take it kindly. So we were rounded up and were to be sent back home. Then our DA, so were you the major then, sir? We were major then?
Yeah, the major, yes.
So Major Ikwe flew in and told them nobody is going to repatriate any cadets. They are practicing what they are being taught. They are being taught to fight. So they are practicing. And he said, has been repatriated. And I think 5 or 6 of us are here this evening. Brigadier Ikwe, I want, on behalf of all those you saved, we want to thank you. Should I tell you our escapade? This young cadet had a driving license, and he was the only one who had a driving license for us, amongst us. So himself, and who again? Moses Gawan, Kadela Dele, and 2 others. Without permission, on a weekend, they were sent the driver, Volkswagen, 6 of them smuggled themselves inside the Volkswagen and drove all the way from Hamburg to London. And when they came back, the authorities, of course, would not take it. Again, they were to be repatriated. Again, the young Major Ikwe came back and abused hell out of us. He said, you guys, you are a nuisance. You have been brought here to be trained, but you are causing problems. So after this, anybody who commits an offense, I'm not coming back here. So he sent Operi and team being repatriated to Nigeria. We want to thank you very much indeed. The Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for all that you have done since you assumed office. The CDS will testify to the efforts you are putting into our armed forces. On their behalf, I want to thank you for what you have done. For the CDS, President Upele has already said it. We want to thank you and your officers for what you are doing. I believe very soon security will return in Nigeria. Thank you very much indeed. To the Senate President, he was in Ivory Coast. He called me and said, General, I'm attending your party. Unfortunately, for unforeseen circumstances, he couldn't come. And he sent the presidency. We thank you.
Thank you.
To the Vice President, I don't know what to say, but thanks and thanks again. Why do I say that? I was hospitalized in India. He took time to call me once or twice in order to see or hear how I was doing. So, Your Excellency, I want to thank you very much indeed. Mr. Vice President, like the Speaker has said earlier on, the coordinator, the pioneers of the Air Force who have retired much earlier, who have retired 30 years ago, 20 years ago, including our Chief of Air Staff, Brigadier Ipe. When they retired, you can't believe what I'm going to say. Mr. Vice President, they were retired without any pension or gratuity. And it was until 1995 when then Babangida administration rectified this problem. But the problems for the pioneers are still with us. Some of us were given national honors. It was gazetted, but up to now, despite the gazetting of the honor, no letter was written to the officers, no medals given to them. So, Mr. DP, please look into this and see how this can be rectified. They will need letters for the grandchildren to come and see that we don't need any ceremony, Your Excellency. Just give us the letter and medals. Like I said, the pioneers are in doldrums, finance-wise. Your Excellency, when I said, after 35 years of service, I returned in 1999, my gratuity was 1,800,000 naira, and my pension, I think, was about 40 naira a month. So these problems have been addressed, but not completely. For the service chiefs, please look into the issue, forward our complaint to the Honorable Minister, and I believe the Honorable Minister will take necessary action through the BP, Please convey to the ears of Mr. President. I would like to stop here. If I was able to stay up to the end, I would have said more. But the coordinator will fill the gaps I left. For the pioneers, let's continue what we are doing. Let's keep in touch and keep the banner going. I thank you very much for accepting the invitation to come to this reunion. God bless you.
In the phones will be right. Now, what does that mean?
In the midst of one of their run, a legendary musician, Emma Ogosi, who joyfully took his colleagues through memory lane while rendering his classic, Iba Welemde.
I wish to dedicate this song to my colleagues, former present, and especially to people like Okwere, Umemandri, and Adam. 3 people who have been close over the years, who never looked down on me. I will never forget you people. Thank you very much. Then most especially to our former head of state, Star Cadet, thank you. See you here. God bless you. Ever willing you, 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 ever willing you.
Was prepared by you. And I have the honor to present to you now 1123 Cadet Abubakar. This is a plant containing all the pictures of the pioneer of answers which we should take from as a momentum. Finally, especially from the committee that organized this, thank you very much, Your Excellency. In fact, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, and the rest, because the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Air Staff, we only sent representatives to my graveside and for them to blow the last bugle and fire the 21-gun salute when I'm there. So I never had the opportunity again. So I want to thank you all.
Wow. It is also fascinating, and it is indeed a special outing for these men who are appreciative of the opportunity to be seeing themselves once again. Their words of advice are priceless and their presence cherished. It is still the Sunday Show. Vibes and views and newsmakers also are up next. Please stay tuned.
Hi, it's the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. My name is Anu Awojobi. Come along. In Nigeria and most countries of the world, January 1st is being observed as the beginning of a new dawn to usher in a new year. It is often characterized by celebrations of merriment, fireworks, among other cultural and religious practices. It is, however, a different ball game in countries such as India, China, Vietnam, Iran, Saudi Arabia, North and South Korea, and Bangladesh, who celebrate their new year in different months of the year. For instance, in China, the Chinese Lunar Year, known as the Spring Festival, was marked on January 29, 2025, a 15-day celebration. Hence, the Chinese community in Lagos were being joined by Nigerians to usher in the Chinese Lunar Year, which has as its theme, One World, One Spring, aimed at promoting the rich cultural diversity of the two countries, as well as strengthening bilateral relationship for economic growth.
The Spring Festival has gradually become a cultural celebration shared by people worldwide. It has also become a cultural bond that strengthens mutual understanding and trust and deepens people-to-people exchange between China and Nigeria.
We are reminded of the rich cultural heritage and traditions that binds the two great nations. The Chinese New Year, a time of renewal and hope, resonate deeply with the values we hold dearly in Nigerian family, unity and prosperity.
we are reminded of the rich cultural heritage reflecting our shared values of mutual respect, peace, love, harmony, and unity between the peoples of China, Lagos State, and Nigeria as a whole.
The festival brought together the old and young, not leaving out the tiny tots, who married, wined, and dined to Chinese and Nigerian cuisines, among other side attractions.
The two countries reaffirmed to support each other on issues related to the respective core interests and major concerns, particularly sovereignty and territorial integrity.
You may like to know that the Chinese Lunar Year holds both cultural and spiritual significance, as it is often linked to one of the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac signs. And for 2025, it is the year of the snake, the sixth animal in the zodiac cycle, which signifies intelligence, elegance, intuition, and growth. That's my package for you on the Vibes and Views segment on this Sunday show. My name is Anu Awojabi. Many thanks for watching.
Reputation is built by the people and can easily also be destroyed by the people. So at the heart of national reputation is love of country. If you love your nation, you will never speak ill about that nation. Whatever may be the difficulties, you promote it well. You think of it. You think of the people. Permit me, but I'm extremely worried because within the country now, we have a hate revolution. I'm no longer on the social media deliberately, although I was the father of social media because we actually brought the Internet and things, when I was Minister of Information. But I'm now, in a way, the way people are using social media to destroy individuals, to destroy the nation, is absolutely unacceptable. It's very, very bad indeed. Because you see, we can all work together and have a good reputation for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One or two people can just destroy it. I'd like to therefore take this opportunity to really say God gave us Nigeria. Nigeria is a wonderful country. Nigeria is the only country you can be proud of as your own. Love this country. Speak well of it. Think well of it. And by the grace of God, we shall rise and move forward. But to really hate your country is a very, very serious matter. And this program will not go anywhere if the people of Nigeria continue to do what we are doing now, destroying the very basis of our existence. But I'd like to compliment that to say that the government of the day, and I hope the Honorable Minister of Information is listening, is my very, very dear brother. He insists I'm his uncle. Yes, I'm his uncle, but I now say you are my brother because you've now taken over in the ministry. Actually, the same title I was given, the Minister of Information and National Orientation. I hope that this government would take very serious note that at the heart of national peace and security is the health of the national economy. The people of Nigeria cannot be happy unless they can be assured of food on the table and security of their lives. Therefore, I believe during the Obasanjo, we faced this very, very difficult time. And yet in that administration, many of you remember the kind of inflow of resources that came into this country. And also that in that same regime, we finished paying all our debts. We didn't owe anybody, anywhere. Therefore, we like just one thing. One of the easiest ways in which this administration can bring a lot into the national economy is to open the doors for very good investments to flow into Nigeria. There are too many gatekeepers that are keeping investments out. It's irresponsible, it's unacceptable, it's not good. And therefore, let all those who have been given the responsibility of welcoming people to invest here to kindly do so and protect their investments, protect their funds. Part of our integrity and reputation will be that we are good people that can be trusted. Because, you know, in the whole of Africa, Nigeria is the best place to grow your money. And therefore, investors want to come to Nigeria. But I'm publicly saying there are too many gatekeepers that hate the Federal Republic of Nigeria and are not allowing people to feel at home in bringing their resources here. One of the first things we want Nigerians to accept, please, if you have a responsibility, kindly manage this economy so well that people will want to really invest here. Believe you me, if inflow of investments can come in very, very quickly, that would improve the exchange rate. The exchange rate would affect all the relationships and prices. Believe me, the key is this exchange rate. Attack it, succeed in it, you'll see progress. The second is energy. The energy costs are too high. People are really suffering. Nigerians are really, really suffering. And we should. Because I'm speaking as a former Minister of Information. One of the things that information ministers must really realize is to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
With the Newsmaker segment, we draw the curtain on the show, urging you to join us again, same time, same station next week for another interesting episode.
So that was a session, and I'm sure that a lot of people would not believe that retired Major General Abdulsalami Abubakar was started from the Air Force.
Yes, and now moved to
the military.
To the military.
Wow.
It was beautiful. They told their stories.
Everybody had a story, and the good thing is they are legends.
I had good bombs all through, watching them.
Well, we'll be here next week.
The one that is the anchor, Air Vice Marshal Anthony Okwere, he was standing for over 5 hours at 82.
So that is
me,
to tell
that
you
I'm half their age, I was sitting all through. God help us.
All right, let's have a wonderful time.